In the back parking lot, it's on fire. Fire rescue, what's the address of the emergency?
I'm in Paradise, California.
Okay.
There's a big ass fire on Hog Ranch Road.
There's about 4 or 5 of them. I can see flames from my window.
And it's in your backyard. How big is it?
It's just getting big by the second.
Hurry.
Oh my God, it's like it's huge.
Ma'am, get out as fast as you can, okay?
Go get the kids in the car now. Just go.
Leave the dogs inside, leave them water and food, and go. Ma'am? Do you understand me, Ann?
Yes.
Okay.
We have fire everywhere in Paradise. The hospital's on fire. This thing's over 1,000 acres.
Fire rescue, what's the address of the emergency? Okay. Hello? Hello?
You just don't think it's really going to be in your lifetime or your children's lifetime. You don't think you're going to wake up and one morning your whole world is gone. This was all trees. Looks like a wildfire went through it. There used to be a paradise sign right up here. May paradise be all its name implies. These are all the crosses of everybody that died. This is a paradise. I don't even know where I am. Everything's changed. Everything. I lived in a home and my kids were playing in the backyard, and now I'm facing living in my car if things don't turn out right. And not having a place to call home is really hard.
Paradise stands out from many, many disasters I worked because of the complete devastation, because that was a community that burnt to the ground and nobody could come back. It was just like New Orleans after Katrina. So many parts of the community that were interrelated, those pieces kind of fell off.
This is my house right here. I come back and I want to find something, but there's nothing. There's nothing to come back for. Yeah, so this is home. My kids went to school that day. It was no big deal. There was smoke. You know, we get that all the time. And whenever I heard things were burning, I still thought to myself, I'm in Central Paradise. They're not going to let Central Paradise burn. But there was no discretion. It came through roaring so fast. All of this stuff that I'm scooping up is years of memories. I feel like an anthill that has been stepped on, and we just all scatter. We're just so lost. There is no anthill anymore. There's nowhere to go. Right after the fire, this place was crazy. All out here was like for missing persons and stuff like that. This place was insane. We went from paying $360 a month for rent with Section 8 to paying over $3,000 a month for a bedroom, a motel room. And that takes up more than my income.
This one's for food, and then this one's gonna be for clothing over here. There are services in the back. If you need anything, there's like a rummage type thing over there as well. And then there's hot dogs and hamburgers right here.
If you have long, if you do have long, you have to swallow your pride and ask when you need help, because otherwise you just can't make it. And then what is an 8? My daughter wears an 8.
So we have 14,000 families that were displaced by this fire. There's no place for them to go in our area or California. We do not have the housing stock or the affordable housing stock in our state. So that's the second crisis, and that's man-made. We're going to start seeing these disasters generate populations that will just start floating. We don't want to create an internally displaced population. And that's what's at risk here.
Are you tired, Mouse? Trying to find housing in this has been one devastation after another. You can only be told no so many times before you start feeling pretty beat down. The fire happened in November, and it wasn't until February that we could even get a motel room because everything was just booked. And it's just because everybody from Paradise has come down. Poor plankton. I was determined to stay here until my kids finished school because they needed that bit of normalcy. They already lost everything else. All I know is every single decision that I make, is this in the best interest of the kids? And am I making a mistake? That's what scares me so bad because it's not just me. I have 3 growing souls that are depending and looking at their mom to make the right decisions. You know, we've looked at bedrooms, you know, asking friends and family if we could rent out a bedroom, but there's nobody that has room. But honestly, I don't know. I'm still thinking we're going to wake up from this, and we're not going to.
If you consider the county as a body, we lost one of our limbs. The question is can we rebuild the limb, or do we have to go forward as a county just simply missing a limb?
Recovery's like a quilt. You've got a bunch of pieces that we're going to put together as a community with different sources of funding and different sources of technical assistance and volunteers, and government's a piece of it, and personal resources. So all those pieces, I don't think that's how people typically look at disaster recovery. They think that maybe there's insurance and maybe there's government and that's it. It's a marathon. It takes a long time to recover communities. Government is just a piece of it, and we don't get everything back the way it was. To just expect things to instantly recover is obviously unrealistic.
Up in Paradise, it'll probably be 3 to 5 years before there is a viable commercial core. Probably 5 to 10 years before there's enough residential fabric around that commercial core to call yourself a functional community. And probably 20 to 30 years before you can go to Paradise and not see that a disaster had occurred.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, can I talk to Grandma real quick?
Yes, yes, yes. Hello.
Hello. I'm gonna go to the storage and organize it and stuff for a little bit because I have nowhere else to go.
Where?
She's at Alana's.
Oh, she's at Alana?
Yeah, and Maisie is staying the weekend with Layla again. This will be, I think, the 13th move. Just either from one room to another, one motel to another, having to stay somewhere overnight. There might be a time where we might have to spend a night in the car or something like that. I could put a cot right there if I had to. Never know. Too bad it doesn't have electricity. None of this stuff is sentimental to me. Not one thing in here has... There's not one baby outfit. There's not one photo album. There's not one Christmas ornament with a little handprint on it. There's nothing. It's just stuff. I miss our stuff. I just want to go home. I miss our stuff. It wasn't worth anything, but it was priceless.
I've always appreciated Paradise because it served as a nexus for the low-income seniors and disabled. I would love to see that population reestablished. This is the nature and culture of our community. But realistically, those who are living precariously in Paradise, those who were renting, may not see the same opportunities as the town gets repopulated. And for many of the elderly and the disabled we work with, they don't have friends or families or medical or support networks outside of Butte County. So it means that they not only have to leave what they know, but they have to try to do it without help and resource and recourse and move to some place where they have no support networks. So it's very, very difficult. And we're talking thousands and thousands of households. No matter what our housing strategy or housing scheme we come up with right now, it's not going to be a scheme that's going to accommodate 14,000 displaced households in a year or two. It's just not realistic. So there are many displaced here, and we've said this from the beginning, who are simply going to have to move on.
Okay, hold on. Does it hurt? I know, I'm sorry. Okay, now let's find a bow that matches. Your hair still has tangles in it. Maisie had a slumber party to go to in Magalia, in Upper Magalia, that didn't burn. And this was her first slumber party. It was her first big birthday party she was invited to that wasn't family. And so I wanted her to go up there. You haven't gone this way in a long time, huh, Mouse? What does it feel like? Weird? Maisie, you don't want to stop by the house real quick?
No.
How come you don't want to see it?
Because
Tell Mama why.
I don't know. I just don't want to.
Do you believe me when I tell you it's not there?
Yeah.
Do you believe me? These people are so lucky. So lucky. 30 minutes away, there's a lot of families that are living in tents and stuff. When we had homes too, we were just like this. This is Paradise in Magalia. Look how lush the trees are. It doesn't look like a war zone. There's no going back. I'll get the rest of the stuff later. The people that are going back, I hope the best for them. And I wish I could be there to rebuild, but it's just not realistic.
And it's next to impossible to find a place for rent.
You can't.
And the places that are for rent, even those people are so selfish and greedy and heartless, they have upped the rent double, almost triple the amount since the fires.
Right.
That's not helping people.
Well, I'm on Section 8, and they won't. I can't find anything that will take Section 8 because they can get triple the amount if they.
But they have lost everything they own.
They want you to relocate. I'm going to have to. I'm looking at Oregon, but I'm waiting the school year out. That's the only reason why I'm still here. Is my kids can't be separated from their friends. We're just surviving, and how much longer? It's been 6 months, and it seems like it was yesterday, and it seems like it was a lifetime ago because we're such different people. But we can't keep doing this.
Oh, that's good. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Sometimes my kids talk about it like we're going to go back, and that's when it's hard because there's no going back. And change is hard, but we'll do it. We're strong. We're Ratliff. We make it. We make it together. So that's what we'll do. It's an upheaval all the time. There's never that feeling of you're settled. This is the longest we've been in a motel is this one here. And I don't want to leave. It's not home, but it's just the closest we've got to it. You ever think you're gonna be in this spot? You think you have options, and sometimes I'm realizing that I'm fighting, but I'm fighting the wrong thing. I'm fighting to stay, and I need to just accept that I'm gonna have to go.
We need to be sensitive as our world's population explodes here, 7.5 billion people on this planet, and we have this pressure on wilderness areas and a warming climate. It's a recipe that's very dangerous. The disaster is the canary in the coal mine, which really points to the fact that we don't have what we need to take care of our people.
That's all it's going to fit back here, I guess.
It's a conversation I think we should have about how will increased frequency of event or increased risk become maybe a larger governmental challenge for what happens to these populations who cannot find a solution.
People say, you know, you got to get back on your feet, and it's like, how? How do you get back up on your feet when every time you get to your knees, you get knocked down again? Just checking out, and then if I can get a printout or receipt. How much did it come to? A lot. And financially, mentally, emotionally, in every way, I don't know how you get back up on your feet. Our move is my attempt in hoping that I'm making the right decision. All paradise is what we have in our memories. And sometimes that fades a little bit, and that's scary. But it's been 6 months. I realize there's no home up there. So we got to move on and find home in Oregon. Starting over is scary. And it's one thing to just like say, you know, I'm going to start over. I'm selling everything I own and I'm going to start over. That's one thing, but I didn't have a choice. We didn't have a choice.